The monument of Cannery Row in Monterey, California shows very important characters that were extremely important to the overall evolution and development of what we now know as Cannery Road in Monterey. This monument sits overlooking the ocean, and it is a massive rocks. And on these rocks sit John Steinbeck, surrounded by 8 different bronze figures. These characters show what the inspiration was behind John Steinbeck's work and his writing, and it shows the bustling sardine canning district. This monument came to its full completion in 2014. In this monument also includes Ed Rickens, who happened to be the father of marine biology, and he dedicated most of his life to studying sea life along the Monterey Bay. And he was also Steinbeck's really good friend and also a source of inspiration to John Steinbeck. In these figures, we also see, suggestively, we see Chinese fishermen and along with that, cannery workers. And these people were included to show the instrumental part that they played in the whole development of this area known as Cannery Row. It was pretty clear to me that a lot of people were not really necessarily fully struck by the monument. More so, perhaps they might have taken a glance as they were walking to their destination. Although a few people, hardly any, but I did see 2 people kind of stopping to take a picture of the monument. Most people were walking past it and going on to their destination and continuing on with what they were doing. And just kind of not very much acknowledging or appreciating the monument. Although there were a few people that did stop by to take a picture, it was pretty rare. Personally, I can see how, people can kind of just walk past it. Although I sat down and really enjoyed kind of its blending into the environment and how peaceful it just really fit in the peaceful atmosphere in the environment, and just like the overall placement of where it was placed. I think it really does kind of blend in with a very not only scenic view, but just overall very peaceful and quiet view. In many ways, this monument reminds me of what Stevens and Frank were talking about in the readings, those authors in the Memorials as Spaces of Engagement. They talk about how specifically in Berlin and the MMJE Memorial, people weren't always necessarily actively seeking out the memorial. It was just happened to be in a very busy placement within the touristy location and kind of leisure destinations, and it was just more of a place where people would walk past en route to their actual destination, but oftentimes having people stopping for a second to just take a look, but not really actually being like the main tourist attraction. So just like both the Cannery Row Monument and the Berlin Memorial Monument, it just really shows that it is not necessarily a place of destination to go see. It is just more so a passersby walk and just more blending in with its environment. Does blend into its environment, meaning kind of the wharf area, the ocean, and just the overall Monterey Peninsula. I think it is able to kind of really be very straightforward as to what the whole concept is there, and also its ability to just kind of honor those who were part of Cannery Row and the sacrifices that they made. And I think that therefore, because it is more of a way that it is honoring, I think it shouldn't be categorized as a monument. Instead, it should be categorized as a memorial, because it is a memorial to John Steinbeck, to the Chinese cannery workers who were there and building a lot of the infrastructure there, and really like a lot of the labor that they put in to into this wharf, and along with this also just honoring the marine biologist from that area, and who was also Steinbeck's friend, and their work and their contributions to the Monterey Peninsula. In conclusion, if we were to redesign this whole monument, I think that it should be redesigned and centered around the voices of those who were exploited, and those who really did give up a lot of their labor in the building of this whole Cannery Row to what it is today, and all those Chinese immigrant workers who worked the wharf. I think that those voices should be centered, and those stories should be shared within that monument.